Welcome along to Elite 6, here with Danny DeHeck. Another Elite 6 member interview. Today's interview is with David Clarkson from Dynamic Communications. We'll be asking Dave 12 random questions from the Elite 6 cards. Welcome along, Dave. Nice to have you here with us today.
Great to be here with you, Danny.
Thank you. Let's get straight into it. If you could go back in time and change one thing, what would it be?
I guess it would be when I was at university, and the first year that I was at university I spent too much time playing squash and belonging to Toastmasters and being involved in the army as a territorial part-time soldier and not enough time studying. And that would have meant then that my grades would have been better that first year, and I'd have been a whole lot happier than I subsequently turned out to be.
Well said. Which would you rather do? Accounting, marketing, planning, or customer service, or admin?
Well, that's a really tough question, Danny, because I've spent most of my professional life as a chartered accountant, but in actual fact, the thing that I enjoy most, which was when I was doing chartered accounting, was I enjoyed the marketing side of it. And so if you had asked me that question again, I think I'd say the marketing.
Right, fair enough. Good on you. Question number 3. How old were you when you realised that Santa wasn't real, and how did you find out, Dave? Hopefully not just now.
No, I found out when I was 6 years old, when I'd got for Christmas from Santa a ukulele, and my dad, after a fine old Christmas lunch, sat down in his chair to digest it, in his big comfy chair, and he sat on my ukulele and broke it. And I said to him, "Oh dear, what's Santa going to say that I've broken my present on Christmas Day?" And I knew from the look on my father's face that in actual fact that there wasn't any Santa, and he would be getting me a new ukulele, which he did, as when the shops opened the next shopping day.
Maybe Santa just bought it from the local shop. Right, question number 4. Aside from necessities, what's one thing you could not go a day without?
My wife.
Oh,
That's
you're just trying to score brownie points.
And my cell phone.
Oh, your cell phone. Somebody did say internet once, so I thought that was quite a good one. But the question was, is the internet a necessity? Okay, number 5. What form? You've just travelled overseas, and you've had, I think it was 5 or 6 weeks away.
Yeah, about 8 weeks. Yeah.
So you'll probably be well versed in this question. What form of public transport do you prefer? I've got a list. Let's go for air, boat, train, bus, or car, and it does have etc.
For me, it's two of those in actual fact, and they score equally. One is the bus, because I enjoy the bus tours, because it just means that you don't have to focus on your driving, and you can absorb everything that's going around you, and somebody else is looking after the road rules, looking after your safety, that sort of thing. And so while I was away this time, I did a couple of tours, and they were absolutely fantastic. So I enjoyed being on the bus and with other people. But the other thing that parallels with that, is at an equal level with that, is driving. Because what that does is, if you're looking after yourself in terms of where you're going and what you're doing, you have that added freedom that you don't have on a bus ride. But it's between the two of them. They both have their good points.
Yeah, that's cool. I've travelled to 35 countries, fortunately, but only just recently I actually, Thailand, I actually was in Koh Samui and actually hired a scooter. And that would be the first time I've actually used a self-driven mode of transport myself. I'm always too scared about not knowing the road rules or what happens if I get in trouble. But well done. And did you pre-arrange your the tours that you did?
Yeah, pre-arranged the tours and the cars.
All right,
Yeah.
good on you. Right, I forgot what question is. I think it's number 6. What kind of impact do you believe you have on other people?
Well, I think we always like to think that we have an impact on other people. The reality of it is that oftentimes we don't. But for my money, when I'm looking for impact in terms of what I'm able to take to people, it's that ability to be able to share with them the ability for them to be able to communicate effectively with other people. Because if you can actually help people do that, then in actual fact that has a huge impact on their lives.
Being dyslexic, I can certainly see the value in being able to communicate with other people, because it's a struggle all the time. Well said, thank you very much. Question number 7. If you could choose to do anything for a day, what would it be?
Well, I think it would be what I really like doing most of the time anyway, and that's spending a whole day on the ski slopes having a ball.
I thought you was going to say you'd spend it with your wife.
No, well, there you go.
That's good. I'll let you out of that one. Would you rather win the lottery or work at the perfect job? And if so, why?
I think probably I would rather work at the perfect job. The reason for that is that I would be basically fulfilled in everything that I was doing in a work sense, and I'm sure if it was the perfect job, it would also have a perfect return, which is an important part of being in business anyway. But I think in actual fact it's the sheer joy that you get out of doing something that you love doing, which is the key to actually building a brilliant, fantastic life. And that's what I would go for, because everything else, if you've got the perfect job, everything else will follow, because you're going to be happy in your job, you'll be happy, likewise you're more likely to be happy in your relationships and the way you deal with people and the way you deal with life. And so that's why the perfect job, to my mind, is the way to go.
I always say successful people never retire.
I agree with you there.
Yeah. Okay, what areas do you have or not have control over in your business?
I pretty much have control over the way that my business runs. The thing I don't have control over is generating the leads, and that's something that's a constant part of my job, because pretty much most of my business comes out of referrals. And so that means that in actual fact I'm pretty much responsible for ensuring that everything that I do functions the way that I want it to do. That's not to say I do it without help from other people, but in actual fact I feel I'm in control of the whole process.
Well done. Question number 10. Where would you like to get your clients from?
My preference is to, and the greater part of my business is with corporate clients, and that's mainly because apart from the one-on-one help that I give to individual people, the majority of my business is done with corporate clients. They've got to be medium to large corporate clients, because I look for repeat business, so that if you've got, and the courses I like to run normally require between 6 to 10 people to run them effectively, so that people can learn the basic skills around presentation skills and communication. It's much easier for them to learn that in a small group of between 6 and 10 people. So I look for medium to large organisations who can provide that sort of number of people and can provide them on an ongoing basis from year to year to year to year, because I look to continue business, not just do one-off presentations Awesome.
I can get that. Well done. Question number 11. How many languages do you speak?
I only speak one language, which is English, but I in fact have two languages. And the first one is my native language, English, and the second one is body language, and that comes out in my courses.
Well, I said I'm still learning English. With the fear of learning another language to do my head in. Okay, now, I don't know who's going to be listening to this, but what is the worst gift you have ever received?
Well, I can tell you that, and I hope they're not listening. But I can remember when my wife and I got married, a very dear friend of my mother's gave us what she thought was the most beautiful most beautiful present ever, and it was a light inside a cow's horn that you put on a table as like a bedside lamp, and it was, I'm sure she thought it was brilliant, but it was the worst present I think I've ever had in my life. Great sentiment behind it, but in fact it went back to the shop.
You have to have it out every time you come around and visit, I can imagine. No, well done, Dave. Thanks for joining us today. That's 12 impromptu questions that we ask at Elite 6 members. David, if I was to ask you one other question, could you tell me in 1 minute basically who you are and what you do?
Thanks, Danny. Well, I'm David Clarkson. I'm from Dynamic Communication. We build more confident, more competent, more credible communicators, so that if you find yourself in a situation where you've got to prepare a presentation and you don't know how to go about it, then you need to give us a call. If you've ever sat in a meeting and come away from the meeting afterwards knowing that you could have or should have had plenty to say and you didn't, you sat there like a stunned mullet, if that's happened to you, you need to give us a call. And finally, if you've ever given a presentation and after it was over you've sat down and on reflection and thinking about it, you've said to yourself, that was absolutely awful, then you need to give us a call. Dynamic Communication.
Thank you, Dave. Absolutely awesome. If you're looking for Dave's contact details, go to Elite 6, the number 6.co.nz, keyword Dave. Thanks for joining us today.